Void Gallery is a great place for emerging artists to display their work, and now with their new location on 20th Street and Avenue B South, they have even more space to accommodate art enthusiasts. On today's show, we'll be trying our hand at silk screening, an art technique that became popular in the 1930s. But before I put my apron on, let's take a look at what else is coming up. What has Saskatoon refugees smiling? We find out later in the show.
So now when I slide my piece of paper underneath,
And we get an intro to silk screening.
line it up exactly where I want it to be.
All the beautiful artwork you're seeing on the walls of Void Gallery's new location is by Kristen Brown, an artist originally from Saskatoon. But before we learn more about this new space, let's take a look at our first story. There aren't many bigger names in Saskatoon sports history than Bill Hunter, and now his legacy is being honored with a documentary. As Simon Hyatt shows us, the film examines how Saskatoon almost became an NHL city.
There's nothing finer in this world than to be alive, to be a Canadian, to be able to say I was born and raised in Saskatoon, Saskatchewan.
If the key to a great movie is having a great main character, then Kyle Burgess may just have a blockbuster on his hands.
Bill was bombastic. He was over the top in everything he did. He was a natural salesman and pitchman. He loved being in front of a crowd. He loved a microphone, and he loved to tell a great story and get people going with everything he was on board for.
Burgess is in the early stages of putting together a documentary about legendary sports promoter Bill Hunter, and more specifically his efforts to move the St. Louis Blues to his hometown, Saskatoon.
And the Blues are now yours. Hooray!
Although a deal was in place, it was eventually rejected by the NHL Board of Governors, something Hunter talked about in an interview with Shaw TV late in his life.
I'm very, very proud of the run we made to bring the National League here to Saskatoon. It's just sad that the NHL and their lack of wisdom failed to recognize that this was a unique situation. We would have been the Green Bay of Canada in the National Hockey League.
There were likely a number of factors involved in the decision to deny the move. Burgess believes the biggest may have been Hunter himself. Wild Bill frequently clashed with NHL ownership, especially when he helped launch the rival World Hockey Association in the 70s.
A lot of people think that Saskatoon's a small town. How could we possibly support an NHL team here? That may be a case, but the more important part was the relationships that Bill had with the NHL ownership.
Although the potential move to Saskatoon happened before Burgess was even born, he says he has always been fascinated by the city's NHL team that wasn't. The effort did have a lasting impact on Saskatoon, as it led to the construction of the building then known as Saskatchewan Place, as the city's previous arena wasn't ready for the big leagues.
It could only fit a couple thousand people in it. So when Bill says, hey, we're going to bring the NHL to Saskatoon, that means we're going to need a bigger building. Well, there was a big controversy in Saskatoon at the time. Do we have a downtown arena? Finally, what happened is they built this place. Without Bill bringing the Blues to Saskatoon and that whole notion of big league hockey, we wouldn't have this arena right now.
Burgess's production company, 52 North Films, is using the crowdfunding site Indiegogo to raise money for the production, which they hope to complete later this year. They are also looking for people to get involved in the film in other ways.
We're trying to get the people of Saskatoon and the greater Canadian hockey community to come on board and share their stories back in '83, how they felt, the excitement of bringing a team to Saskatoon, and maybe the loss when we found out the team was not coming here.
For Go on Shaw TV, I'm Simon Hyatt.
Void Gallery is dedicated to supporting emerging artists. Of course, many of us know Void Gallery from 8th Street, but now in its new location on 20th Street and Avenue B South, I'm very excited to be joined by Michael Peterson. Of course, he is the owner of Void Gallery. Michael, we're standing in your new location, like I mentioned, probably about double the size of what Void Gallery was. How is this space really going to help emerging artists and really help Void Gallery, you know, get out there in the community?
Well, as you say, it is a larger space, so we can show more work. We can be open to more artists. It's also a street level space and in a nice walking neighborhood so that people can more easily find us and come across new artists.
Exactly. So we are in the heart of beautiful Riversdale. I find the arts community here is very strong. What's it been like being located in this new area?
It's been great. It's nice to be associated with the other galleries. AK and Paved have been very supportive. We're half a block from the farmers market, so we get a lot of walk-by traffic from them too. So.
Very, very cool. All right, so we're seeing all this beautiful artwork on the walls here. Tell us a little bit about Void Gallery if people don't know about it.
Yeah, so Void exists, as you mentioned, to support local emerging artists. Yeah. We do show a different show every month, and really the idea is to be a space to help artists if they are in the younger stages of their careers to get a start, or if they're a little further along to help to continue to expand their markets. We also exist, as we're going to see with Kate Francis, we have a printmaking space, a production space for artists as well, and these are also offering opportunities for the general community to learn about art.
Exactly. Offering these workshops are a great feature of the brand new space here for Void Gallery. How does it make you feel and the instructors when they come in and they teach community members from the very beginning how to do a certain art technique, a subject that you guys are obviously very passionate about?
Oh, it's great. It's really nice to be able to offer other people opportunities not just to see art but to experience it, and it really changes how you can get involved in the arts so that you're a producer, so that you're having fun with it. It doesn't rather than just having to come in and it be a commercial sale. The one we'll be seeing is Kate's silkscreen workshop, so this is an opportunity to really learn that process, which can be used from everything from paper goods to fabrics. We've done etching, relief printing, so these are both printmaking techniques. But then really expanding a little further out of that, we'll be having bookmaking workshops, embroidery, watercolor, which is Kristen's, I'll be running this weekend. All
right, well, to check out, they can go to your website, of course, voidgallery.ca.
Or if they want to learn about the workshops, it's creativecommonsyxe.com. That's for the workshop specifically.
Perfect. All right, well, like Michael mentioned, we are going to be trying out some silk screening on today's show. I have no idea about this art technique, so it's going to be an interesting ride. We'll be right back after the break. Still to come, we find out ways to build a greener home.
Walking out, hopefully saying that was the best show I've ever seen. That's the goal.
And it's the concert event of the year. We chat with two country superstars. Community members are working on their silk screening projects, and from the smiles on their faces, they're enjoying this process and of course the workshop. But before we learn a little bit about this art form, let's find out how a local dental office is bringing smiles to the faces of Saskatoon refugees. It's a sound many have come to dread. But for Syrian refugee Lina Hadura, she's grateful to finally be getting a root canal.
I'm so thankful, and God bless you all, and I hope in future that I could fix all my teeth, especially the bridge.
Moving from Syria to Saskatoon in December of 2015 with her 3 kids and husband, most of whom also have serious oral health issues, Hadora has lived with this pain in her mouth for well over a year.
We were in Syria just for 6 months when the war started. My father-in-law was scared about our family and his son. That's why we moved. I have trouble with my interior bridge. At that time when I fix it, I don't have enough money, so I have half porcelain, half metal. The pain is on and off as I have inflammation there.
With such discomfort, the family told their counselor at Saskatoon's Open Doors Society and was told about a new local initiative through Kenderdine Dental called Give Back a Smile. From June 1st to 10th, University of Saskatchewan dentistry students Sarah Rayner and Brendan Rayno have been providing free dental care to the community's refugees after learning a shocking statistic.
Kenderdine Dental found out that there were about 500 refugees living in Saskatoon, and about 50% of them had acute dental pain. I'm happy that we were able to do something for them, but definitely a big eye-opener and seeing kind of what these people have been through and how far they've come.
It feels really good to be able to know that you're helping people who otherwise may not get the help that they need. Lots of the people we see, they're in a significant amount of pain right now, so just knowing that you're doing it for the good of these people is quite rewarding.
Both students are very close to completing their dentistry degree and say the work they're doing with refugees is not only benefiting their patients, but will help them in their future careers as dentists.
We do get some practice at school, but obviously working in a private clinic is much different than working at the school, and we're exposed to a lot of different things that we are at the school, and it just gives us kind of more experience and more hands-on opportunities.
An educational yet humbling experience that is giving refugees a reason to smile.
We've had families come in we see some of the children and then the mom and the dad in the afternoon, and so we kind of treat a whole family in a day, and just seeing them all smiling at the end of the day is really rewarding.
I'm very happy. My two daughters, they have a lot of problems. One of them, she got extraction, surgical extraction, and the second daughter, she got 2 of her teeth extraction, and she's waiting for another.
Being a part of the Give Back a Smile initiative, both Raynor and Reno agree the 15 refugees they've treated so far is just scraping the surface.
Even though there's still so many more people that also need our help, it's still great to be able to kind of offer this.
It really opens your eyes to how many people are living in our community right now around us and how much need some of them have, and just that it feels really good to be able to help these people, and I'm pretty grateful for Kenderdine Dental for allowing me this opportunity.
So the bridge goes from the 1-2 to the 2-1.
Community members are here at Void Gallery during their silk screening workshop. Joining me right now is the instructor, Kate. Kate, silk screening. I don't even know where to start. What is silk screening?
Well, it's pretty well what it sounds like. It's a printmaking process by which a stencil, it's stencil based, is adhered to a screen and you pull through. So that this used to be made out of silk and now it's made out of a synthetic fabric. But this is a mesh with the stencil adhered to it using a photographic process.
Cool.
And you can squeeze the ink through it. The paper goes underneath here, and you can pull multiple copies.
And the ink just goes onto the paper?
Yeah, and we're going to do some, so you're going to see it.
We're definitely going to do some, and you're going to see that process.
You're going to see the process. And screen printing is on just about everything. It's that screen printed, your shirts, it goes on circuit boards, it's on mugs, hats,
I didn't even think about that.
Yeah.
So it's probably an art form that's been around for a while.
Yeah, for a long time. But it wasn't really a fine art process until the 1930s.
Interesting. All right, well, I'm excited to try, so where do we start?
First thing we're going to do is we're going to print onto this transparent piece of Mylar that I've got here.
Okay.
Let's get that all set up. So you can see that it's on there now?
Yeah.
So now when I slide my piece of paper underneath, I can line it up exactly where I want it to be.
Yeah, can you see this process? There we go.
So it's not actually on the paper yet.
Yes,
but I'm getting it all lined up the way I want it to be. So I'll let you do the honors of pulling this squeegee.
Okay.
Yep. So when you grab it, both hands.
Both hands?
Even pressure and a 45-degree angle.
Oh, yeah.
Yep, right about that. And press fairly hard, firm.
Okay.
And pull.
And pull. Was that good enough?
Well, see. Let's lift it up and take a look.
I don't know what to do.
That looks great.
Oh my gosh,
that looks awesome.
look at there.
There you go.
Can we show?
Yeah.
Look at that. Ice screen,
First color.
silk screen printed, yay!
Yay.
First color,
That's awesome.
and yeah, we do quite a few different layers, right? Or a couple different layers. We're gonna do 2 today. Yeah. We're going to pick that up in the next segment. Kate, thank you so much. This has been a lot of fun.
You did great. You're natural.
I'm a natural. Yeah. Awesome. All right, well, we'll be right back after the break with more silk screening.
Hey folks, it's Larry Krause here with the Timberline Music Show. Join me and my special guest for a half hour of great music right here on Shaw TV.
Void Gallery has gone through some changes, including moving into their new location on 20th Street. Right now we are checking out their Creative Commons area, an open art studio for community members to freely practice their passions. But before we talk with one of these participants, do you know what else has changed dramatically? The way homes are built, as Simon Hyatt tells us in our next story.
Ron LePage's home on the North Saskatchewan River is a little slice of heaven, and he wants to keep it that way. He designed and built it to last for roughly a 100-year lifespan, no matter what environmental circumstances come our way.
We think it's not long from now we'll be sitting with our grandchildren in our lap saying, I remember back in 2016 we flushed toilets with drinking water, and it'll be something that's will seem crazy in the future.
The house at Cerelia County Estates near Langham features a number of environmentally friendly technologies, including, yes, a brand new approach to flushing toilets, using water that would otherwise go to waste.
All of the water that we use in our shower and in our bathtubs is captured, it's filtered, it's stored in a tank and chlorinated. And then when we use the water in our toilets, we're using that recycled gray water to flush our toilets.
The technology to reuse gray water in toilets requires a fair bit of infrastructure, so it is difficult to install it in homes that weren't designed for it. But LePage's home also has a number of features that almost anyone can take advantage of.
And so easy to adapt to, you don't even notice the difference at all.
From low-flow taps and switches that limit the use of electricity when appliances aren't in use, to windows that take advantage of sunlight to create heat and energy, and more and better insulation, everything in the house was designed to be more environmentally friendly.
So, the difference is the excess that I've produced here on this property.
He has planted grass that requires no watering, and plants that do need nourishment receive it from collected rainwater.
It's actually better for the plants, better for us, better for the environment. Everybody wins on this one. So.
And while some of the tools in use have ancient origins, LePage also uses the most modern technology to monitor the impact they have had, including the solar panels that actually generate more electricity than the house uses in a year.
So this is at this point in time, we're using 948 watts of energy right this second, and we're generating 4,536 watts from our solar panels out there right this second.
LePage's interest in the practices led to him doing a master's degree on the technology and then launching a business, Verico Homes, which helps people design with a more environmentally friendly approach. But he also stresses that's not the only type of green that's taken into consideration.
All of the stuff that we look at, we try and find the least cost in terms of energy, but only invest in it if it's balanced by savings. So it's a great venture. We do it with all our clients, and having done it in our own home, we love it.
For Go on Shaw TV, I'm Simon Hyatt.
We are continuing our time here at Void Gallery for their silk screening workshop. Joining me right now is a workshop participant. Her name is Bobby. Now, Bobby, I know you are an artist. You love to work with visual arts, but you've decided to try out silk screening. Why did you want to try a new form?
Well, I haven't done silk screening before, and I like working in layers. So silk screening allows you to work in layers with color and imagery and build up your image. And yeah, so I just wanted to play with that a little bit.
Perfect. Well, it is a lot of fun. We've done our first layer. You are going to help me do the second layer, so we'll get to that in just a moment.
Okay.
But Bobby, this new space on 20th Street for Void Gallery, how great is it? As you can see, there's all this area where people can get together, the Creative Commons area, and really learn art and express their passion. How much do you love this new space?
Well, this is terrific. I mean, it's brand new, but it's an opportunity to work with people maybe you don't always work with, you don't always see, and it's nice to be able to do printing in a place where you're not necessarily in a formal education place, so we don't have a lot of opportunity to do that. They also have another press over here, which is fun to work with as well. So I'm really, really happy to be here.
And what about art is it that you love so much? You know, when you're starting a piece of art, what is it that really ignites you.
I think it's the promise of what might sort of unfold. You kind of have a little bit of a vision, but the work sort of speaks to you after a while, and you kind of go with that flow. So it's just what's going to happen, you know?
Kind of the excitement, surprise.
Yeah.
Absolutely. All right, well, who knows what will happen here when we try our second layer.
Hopefully it's all going to be good.
It's going to be great, Bobby. It's going to be great. Okay, so we have our black here for our second layer.
Yeah, it's our second color we're running down is black right now.
And
So
then
2 hands and towards you. And a little bit of zoom.
And do I go again?
Back again, towards the top of the screen. And shall we do the big reveal?
Yes, let's try.
Okay, so we can just leave this in here.
Yes. Don't know what to do
Not
with
to
that.
worry.
Thank
not to
you,
worry.
Bobby.
Okay, so we'll just lift this up. And look how gorgeous that is. You're an artist. Look at that.
Look at that. Creative Commons YXE, of course, .com. Creative Commons YXE.com is where you can go to find out all about Void Gallery's workshops. Bobby, thank you so much.
You're
I think
very
we
welcome.
did a really good job.
That's awesome.
That was a lot of fun.
Is.
The show is still all about those people walking out, hopefully saying that was the best show I've ever seen. That's the goal.
Well, I don't know what you folks have planned for the weekend, but I can guarantee you you're not as busy as this man. Look at this, it's Garth Brooks. We're hanging out with Garth Brooks. What an honor. Thank you so much for coming to Saskatoon and also for talking to us. 6 shows coming up over the course of the weekend. How does someone prepare themselves mentally and physically to do 6 shows in a very short period of time?
I guess I can compare it if someone says, okay, you're going to have to eat 6 bowls of ice cream. Can you do it? You're like, you betcha. It's just going to be fun. We're going to take them one at a time because each show is its own kind of show. No matter if there's 2 in one night, each one is its own show. We'll just take them one at a time, go out there, have fun, and see what the people want to do.
And there's no real such thing with you as dialing it back for that. I'm guessing you're kind of going full throttle. You mentioned you've had a lot of rest. The people are in for a good show, no matter which one they're at this weekend?
Yeah, I feel bad for these people because I have had some rest, so this is going to be stupid. They're going to be asking me to stop.
Talk a little bit about the response from Saskatoon fans because, of course, that's the reason there are 6 shows. People went so crazy for these tickets, they just kept on adding shows. That's got to make you feel pretty great.
It made me feel better than great. I couldn't believe it, and just what a great time all this is. Perfect timing. The weather's fantastic. So the whole band and crew, everything, we'll be getting out all this weekend. We're going to make a party of it.
Of course, we know how important family is to you. That was the main reason you took your earlier retirement, the importance of family. And now you get to bring the family out on the road. Miss Tricia coming with you on the road. What's that like for you two, getting to tour together and just be together constantly?
Well, I tell you what, it's fabulous. And I love saying this. My retiring days are behind me. So I love that now. I'm just going to play till they throw me out. It's so much fun, and getting to tour with your best buddy, and because our careers pretty much started the same time. I got a picture of us together in 1987 that I carry around with us. So it's pretty cool to watch her grow as an artist and as a human being and get to be part of that.
It is going to be an absolutely crazy weekend here in Saskatoon.
Yes,
Tens of thousands of people coming here. You certainly didn't need to do interviews with us to generate publicity and attention for it, so we thank you so much for doing that. It's very nice of you to take some time to chat with us today.
You kidding me? The whole reason why we do this is for one reason, to let you know how appreciative we are. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. This is going to be a crazy weekend.
Absolutely, and we mentioned the fact that, of course, Miss Yearwood on tour with you. She's over with my good friend Janelle Hamilton. Let's check in with them.
12 albums, multiple Grammys. It's hard to believe that Tricia Yearwood has time for much else, but you are a woman of many hats. Before we talk about your many different endeavors, let's talk about your time here in Saskatoon or Saskatchewan. First time here. I know you've just landed, but what are you hoping to do while you're here?
Well, I try to get out in every city that I'm in, and because of this whole food world that I'm in now, I try to taste what your thing is. So I always like to ask, what is the thing I should try? Yeah. And I try to get out and get that. And if I don't get to the restaurant, I try to get it brought in so I can try it and figure it out.
Well, you'll definitely have to try Saskatoon berries. We're well known for that. It's a tasty berry. You can't go wrong.
Okay, I will definitely check it out.
Awesome. Now, Tricia, of course, you're here for 6 different shows. What went through your mind when you heard that your tickets were sold out within seconds, and the fans here are just crazy about you two.
I think you know, being in the same world as this guy, everything's different. You know, he is a legend, and I'm just honored to be on this tour. I mean, I know that people that have seen Garth before have come to see him again, bring their children, and I wasn't expecting the reception that I got. I thought, well, they're here to see Garth, they'll be nice to me. It's been incredible. I've really enjoyed the tour, and he features me in the middle of the show really well, and I get a chance to get a dose of that crowd, and it's really awesome. We're having the best time. We're so blessed. You know, we've been married for almost 11 years, and we don't like being apart. We're nerdy that way, and so it's nice to go on the road and not be leaving somebody behind that you want to be with. We pack our bags and we're getting on the same plane. It's nice, you know, so we're just having a great time.
I know Garth and yourself are a part of the Saskatchewan Children's Hospital. What makes you most proud about the work that you've done with that hospital?
Just to see the smiles on these kids' faces. You know, the zones are a place where kids go. You can't go in there with a needle. You can't go in there with a doctor's coat on. It's a place for kids to really get to be kids. And if you've ever been in a hospital with a child in particular, it's tough. I mean, none of us like to go to the hospital anyway. And if you're a kid and you have to be there a lot, the zone, I love to see these kids getting to be kids, even when they're facing who knows what they're facing.
What is one thing you take with you on tour that you can't live without?
Just my husband.
Such a good note to end on. Thank you so much, Tricia. I hope you enjoy your time here in Saskatoon. Thank you.
Thanks.
Well, I finished my first silk screening project, and I have to say it was a lot of fun. But before we wrap up our time here at Void Gallery, as many of us may know, Garth Brooks and Trisha Yearwood are coming to town. Simon Hyde had a chance to catch up with the country superstars before they hit the stage. Silk screening is just one of the many workshops that are being offered at Void Gallery's new location on 20th Street and Avenue B South. For all that information, make sure you head to creativecommonsYXC.com or voidgallery.ca. Thanks so much for joining us on today's show. I'm your host, Janella Hamilton. Bye-bye for now.